Gut, wieder mal woanders. Bin gespannt, was uns hier erwartet an Miras Stelle.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos. Ethan made this for me. It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me.
Okay, das ist also mehr so ihre Habseligkeiten, die hier sind. Nichts Besonderes jetzt zu finden, wie es aussieht.
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Und sie vermisst ihre Familie, was in dieser Situation ja auch nicht weiter verwunderlich ist. Von zu Hause weg, in der Hauptstadt, wo alles ganz anders abläuft und tja, ihre Familie ist zu Hause und sie hat keine Ahnung, was da alles passiert.
Wonders Made by Man by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday. King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Eisenrath today.
Und auch hier sehen wir nur uns selbst und gucken nicht nach draußen. Ich würde immer gerne rausgucken können und dann die Aussicht sehen, die sie hat.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
One moment.
Ja, ich bin ja da.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
Komm rein.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm fine, thank you.
Of course, milady.
Geht ihnen ja gar nichts an, was mit uns los ist,
Please
ne?
hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie?
Na, wir sind ja nun nicht erst seit gestern hier.
But it seems like you do.
It's widely known that I work for Lady Marjorie.
I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but...
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and Haus Forrester.
Haus Forrester?
Da wird's interessant.
I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. But I thought you ought to know. Most people don't tend to notice a callboy. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there.
Jetzt tut mir ein bisschen
Good night,
leid.
milady.
So absolut unbeachtet, das ist natürlich auch nicht schön.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
Nicht gleich
You're
mit der
very
Tür ins
kind, my
Haus.
lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself.
I'm not a traitor.
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an
Immerhin scheint sie ja
apology
hinter
of some
uns zu
sort.
stehen.
For what, I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Okay, ich versuche es. Ich hoffe, ich bekomme das hin.
See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us. You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Okay, ich werde dran denken. Oder es zumindest
Good luck.
versuchen. Egal, was wir sagen wollen, wir sollen uns anders entscheiden. Ich versuche mich dran zu halten. Einfach sagen, was sie hören will, und wir sind hier ganz schnell wieder raus.
You can do this.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of Haus Forrester.
Your Grace.
Ja, das
The girl
gefällt
knows her
ihr.
courtesies.
War mir schon klar.
Impressive. You may rise.
Haus Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord
Aber
Forrester.
He's not
selbstverständlich.
here, is he? She is.
Das könnte sie falsch
The girl can
verstehen.
speak for her
Das will
house.
sie hören.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the Wardens of the North. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Vielen Dank.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
Ich
The
versuche
girl
nicht zu
did name
lügen,
Joffrey as the one true
aber auch so ein
king.
bisschen der Wahrheit nahe
Is your
zu
house
bleiben.
willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Roose Bolton also served the Starks, Your Grace.
And proved his loyalty to the crown by bringing their house to a swift and sudden end. Old
Das lief jetzt
allegiances
nicht
are
ganz
not
so.
easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on Haus Forrester.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
To our mutual benefit, Your Grace.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
I won't dishonor myself, Your Grace.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Ich
Loyalty
verzettel
can
mich
be such a
langsam.
hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
I'm not quite sure what to make of her. Not surprising, I suppose, for a northern girl, but not very encouraging either. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Oh, zum Glück sind wir durch. Ich war schon ganz angespannt. Ich wollte immer nichts Falsches sagen, aber auch nicht jetzt so super heuchlerisch sein, weil das hätte uns, glaube ich, keiner
I'll walk you
abgekauft.
This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
These are trying times, my lord.
Oh
My
nein, warum
family
sag ich
fears
ihm
what
das?
might happen now that the Boltons rule the north.
They must still answer to the crown. You shouldn't forget that, nor should they. That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor
Ja,
Lady
musste ich
Marjorie
ja.
was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Marjorie.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
What are you
Das
suggesting?
möchte ich jetzt gerne mal wissen. Auch
I
wenn es
suppose the
eigentlich
crown
nicht...
could be persuaded to secure ironwood from Haus Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous. In fact, forget I even suggested such a thing.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
Thank you for the advice, Lord Tyrion.
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Wir haben eben auch Dinge gesagt, die uns eigentlich nicht zustanden, aber na, ich bin das Risiko einfach mal eingegangen.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah?
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told you have a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
You'll get us in trouble.
We're just having some fun. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands.
Ich glaube ja nicht.
Marrying a king? I can only imagine what that would be like.